Hello, my name is Scott for SB Gaming, and welcome back to Transport Fever Sandbox Edition, and this episode marks the last 2 weeks of this series. Yes, indeed, Transport Fever is going 2 videos a day, side by side with the Truck Fever series, and our goal is to wrap things up over the next 2 weeks. For those who are watching this after the fact, yeah, there are 13 more episodes after this to come, and then we'll be moving on to other series. Anyway, with that in mind, my focus is to connect up all the industries. Some of them are connected, they don't have lines running to them, but more importantly, we want to try to ramp up all the industries all together, max out their production. Whether that happens or not will be debatable, as some of the lines I'm planning are pretty lengthy. And for the sharp-eyed, you might notice a few changes, although with that said, we're zoomed out, so there's very low detail. I was doing some thinking off screen, and that's a very dangerous thing, of course. And if we take a look at the industries here, we can see that we have 7 of every industry. So basically, what we need to do is try to connect up one oil well with wherever it is, one refinery with a chemical plant, and a chemical plant with a goods factory or steel mill, because yeah, it can either take plastics or steel, a combination of both quite possibly. We are going to try to ramp up the steel mills themselves. We are going to try to ramp up everything, and yeah, this should be interesting. So how do I plan to do this? Well, this Freight Overhaul is going to be a number of episodes, much like our M300 build in the other series, where I have, yeah, a bunch of episodes connecting up all the towns with the M300s. I do a few connections at a time, but other than that, yeah, so the first connections that we want to set up is I need to restructure the forests, because right now over here in Palm Bay, we have a forest over here that is connected to a sawmill. In addition, this is also shipping logs over here. If we load up the icons, yeah, shipping logs over here and bringing planks back to here. Turns out that we're also shipping planks produced here over here back to here, only getting paid for this distance. And yeah, so we're losing money where we shouldn't need to be. Plus, we need to set up one forest with a sawmill and not try to split the production, because that never works out, at least if you want to maximize the production. So alright, so what I have is a set of industries connected to one another. Theoretically speaking, we have Augusta Forest connected to the Gilbert Sawmill, connected to the Miramar Goods Factories, and for those who know what they are, this is the Augusta Forest. We have the Gilbert Sawmill down here, and it's connected to the Miramar Goods Factory. Yep. We're going to name this Miramar Goods for reasons. And the next one is the Columbus Forest, which is over here. It's going to be connected to the Henderson Sawmill, which is down here. And it's going to be connected to the Phoenix Goods Factory, which is right here. So we'll take logs from here, bring them over to here. They'll be transferred over onto this line, brought back down here, turned into planks, and returned up here. This will also take plastics and steel. What we can do, we have a line here, Henderson Plastics, which will of course take plastics produced here, up here. It'll get transferred along on that line as well. And of course, goods will ship back through here, because the Henderson Plastics will come right into town. So yeah, about that. Because of course, this plastics factory has been supplying down here. So we may have to restructure that as well. I I haven't really done all the chemical plants, although with that said, Henderson Chemicals will be supplied by this. So yeah, that stays as is. So some of the plastics will probably ship up here. Some of them will go there. Maybe we can bring steel over here, possibly. So yeah, about that. Next up is we have the Denver Forest, which is over here. We are going to be connecting up to the Cape Coral Sawmill, which is over on the other side of the map. All the way over to one of these. Oh, there's two of them. Cape Coral Sawmill to the Augusta Goods Factory. Is this it? No. This is it. Okay, I'm actually... No, I have a plan. Yes, okay, so we're... I do have a plan. I do have a plan. We are going to take logs from here, bring them over to the train station, and do I have this set up? Yes, I do. It'll be shipped on the Ontario Logs line, all the way like this, up this way, and across over to Augusta. You might be thinking, that makes no sense. And then the logs will be transferred over to here, which will then get transferred over here, over to here, to this sawmill. So I'm going to have to name this. We are going to name this the Augusta Sawmill, just so that I have, things sorted out. So yeah, that's one of the more convoluted routes. And I'm setting up in a way that goods cannot cross-contaminate one another. So it should work unless the distance is too far. We'll see. We'll see. Next up, we have the Memphis Forest, which is down here. And as we can see, we have a freight station here. And that will be shipped over to the Palm Bay Sawmill, which is actually up here, which is what we were using for the Tampa goods. We are going to be shipping logs from here since we don't really have any sawmills over here other than this one, and we have like 3/4 over this area. Logs have to go off in the other direction. There's no choice about that. We can't supply 3/4 worth in here and make this function. We'll just lose production here, and we'll just have max output on the sawmill, and we just won't have enough planks output in the other places. So this will be on connecting onto the M300 run. Splits off here. It'll go across along the side of the map all the way over to, of course, the Tampa Goods Factory. It will get loaded onto a train from here, and we are basically reusing this route with one exception. Instead of stopping here to be chopped or to be delivered up there, since we are using these for something else, we are going to be splitting this line and connecting this onto this so that the logs can make their way all the way up here in order for them to get returned back this way to get turned into goods. Yes, it's been many hours of trying to set all this up. I've got through the forests, I've got through the oil wells, I've got through the refineries, I've got most of the farms set up, at least they're figured out. So yeah, about that. Fifth is the Palm Bay Forest, which is this one here. And this is going to go over to the Cape Coral Sawmill, which is over here. We have an existing line that does that, but they will be supplying the Cape Coral Goods Factory. Which one is that? Yep, okay. So they come in here, logs get dropped off, turned in planks. They get put onto this Cape Coral Patterson lumber line and shipped over to here, which then gets shipped out elsewhere. Now, one thing I'm going to probably want to do I don't want to ship these in here because it'll interfere with this. Because I'll have, most likely I'll have logs feeding up through this way, and I don't want them feeding up through this way. So yeah, about that. So that is Palm Bay Forest. We then have Patterson Forest. This is a forest we have not utilized, and we are utilizing this one here. They will get shipped down to this train station, which will no longer be using for Patterson oil because Patterson oil is going bye-bye and it's being replaced with something else. The logs will get shipped down to Patterson Oil and Fuel. I might as well rename this to Patterson Lumber because this is no longer going to be used for its original purpose. Because this is getting utilized somewhere else over here. Yes. In order to make things easy to connect up, I have had to adjust some things. Then they get shipped onto here. Patterson planks, they will be getting taken over in this direction to this sawmill, which we have not used either. Now, I know I could have brought the logs from here or over here into here to be chopped up for stuff, but you know, this is already set up and it's basically here, over to there, and back. 2 stops, that's it. So yeah, about that. And then we have the Ventura Forest over to the Denver Sawmill. And that is basically this setup right here. The forest to the sawmill to the goods factory. And going back to the other one, the Patterson Riverside Sawmill. The logs, or rather planks, will come back here, get dropped off here, and go directly into the goods factory. So this is the reason why I wanted to have this set up here. So yeah, about that. It was an easy, convenient option. Of course, with that said, I could have gone here, down to here, over to here, and I still could. And then bring them back to here. Quite possibly. I just have to readjust some things here. Logs, there. What again was I bringing over here? This was the Cape Coral Sawmill. Palm Bay Forest. That's right. Forest over here. I was going to be bringing over here to supply that. If I do that, then I would need to get this over across there. I would have to either cross over there or stay on this line. Alternatively, I could use that and then I could... No. Now I've screwed myself up. Alright, well, I'm going to get things started and let's get some building done. We're going to do this. I want to send this back to depot. We are going to connect that. So yeah, I've been spending a lot of freaking time on this, trying to set up good enough chains that we're gonna send you back to depot. Oh, bother. Yep. I am using the ballast mod. Oh, seriously. Alright, about that. No to catenaries. And we have a collision. Alright, about that. And now Tampa planks. You are going... Actually, do I retire you guys? 3 years old, so they've... You are going up to Tampa goods. And you have no path. Where are you right now? You are right there. Yeah, we are going to send you back to depot. We can always repurchase later. And you are going up to Tampa goods as well. Alright, we're heading back to depot. Alright, well, I'm just going to tear this out. And let's put the symbols on. Okay. Okay, never mind. Had the bulldozer on. And yeah, we got some stuff here. We are no longer going to need this. Goodbye. And we are going to leave that for now. And we want to bring this back to there. And you know what? We might as well. Incoming vehicles. Seriously? You know what? Go back on to, for now, Tampa planks. Yeah, we're just going to... Any other bits? Alright, we are going to, and as you can see, I have the older bridges. Return to the game. Yep, that'll work. And in there. And now this connects over into here. Do we have... We don't have line. Alright. Over here. No, over here. The Tampa planks line. We will be keeping it. Could not connect all stations. Palm Bay Annex. We're going to be removing that. The vehicles. They still have their goods. We are going to be adding this station here, and we want to force it into the middle platform because reasons. This is a through line for something else, although yep, yeah, that's right. It's hard to keep some of this on track. So about that. Alright, this one's heading to Tampa goods. This one, you know what? Flip around. Palm Bay Freight Station. No, you are going to be Palm Bay Sawmill. And Tampa goods. Yep, that'll work. So you're going to the Sawmill. You have no goods to set up because, of course, we are going to... Actually, one thing I might as well do. We might as well sell off the trains for now. Except one, I think. We are going to just put a depot. We don't need the catenary. What I'm going to do, we are going to Tampa planks. We want you to flip around and go back and be sold. I will go back to that. I want to get this line set up. We're going to just throw a depot. If we can. Unable line terrain because we're... Alright about that. Let's raise the ground. And there we go. And just smooth it out. Let's buy train. We are going to buy the GE C48W, 113 kilometers an hour. We are going to put the 120 kilometer an hour stake cars, and these are shorter. They are smaller capacity. We are using these mainly because they are cheaper. So yeah, about that. I think their weight to capacity ratio is good. This will give us 300 capacity. You can use 30 of those versus one of these trains. I can't quite do math. 180, 270, 306. So we are going to be losing some capacity. So sure, how about that? And in the depot, we are going to set this to line. Do I even have a line set up? I probably don't. Of course not. Why would I have a line set up? From here, all the way over. This line will make money. It won't be extremely profitable just because it is only going to ever haul one way. So, yeah, about that. But regardless, it should be profitable. This is going to be TF. Where is that? Memphis? Memphis logs. And we are going to color it that color. And yeah, pretty much because this train runs at 113 kilometers an hour, it makes no financial sense to run the bigger, longer stake cars. So yeah, I bet that. Another vehicle I've returned to active service. So yep. Actually, I just want to check here. Weight, 477 tons. Power rating is good. Nice. And if we go back to, if we find one of our rail stake cars, one of these, details. So this actually weighs more, 477 tons versus 455 tons. It's 318 meters length versus 310. Still both good, so that is something. Flat 113 in 79 seconds versus, so yeah, it's going to be a little bit slower. So yeah, about that. But running costs are 3.66 million per year versus the running costs of 4.65 million a year, and the value 27.9 million versus 22 million. So we save almost $6 million on the purchase price, plus we are saving about $1 million per year on the running costs. That is why I'm running it. They may be heavier. It might need a little bit more power to compare performance-wise. And this is probably going to take some time to get going. So what I'm going to do, we are going to... do I want to go unlimited? Let's see. 1 minute is 1 month in game. I could go 5 months. We'll set it to maximum waiting time of 5 minutes. And then we are going to Memphis West, load if available, or full load any. And we don't need to do this, but we're going to force it to unload. I don't think we'll ever bring anything back, but regardless, it's going to all go one way. So now this will, of course, wait here for 5 months. Hopefully this will get production up, and we will save money on the running costs. That was the first one, the most important setup that I wanted to do. And so this is dropped off. We are just going to sell that. No, I don't want the... You, flip around. Go and be sold. And yeah, what I'm going to need to do... I'd have to replace them out anyway. Alright, so on that line, we should still have at least one vehicle. Yes, indeed. Our goods factory will be shutting down a bit. Tampa planks. Palm Bay, Tampa goods. It is carrying construction materials. We're going to force it to unload all. I guess the construction materials can get to Tampa, so yeah, about that. Yeah. Our trains won't be running anything other than what they're intended to run. Alright, so that one got sold off. We are going to do a replace out. And we are going to get rid of these. And we are going to buy 25 of these. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. And we are going to want to do a replace now. You gain $2.21 million. Nice. And they dump out. And gets replaced with that. 300 capacity. Now, if we take a look over here, this is still sitting and waiting. This has line usage no. Yeah, my goods network is going to run down to a halt. Alright, so that is the first reconfiguration. I'm going to check that off my list. Next up is going to be the Augusta Forest, Gilbert Sawmill, Miramar Goods Factory. Actually, that line is fine, I think. We want this. Augusta Planks, vehicles. We have one train. It is running... we are going to replace this out with a... replacement. We want a GE C48W. we're going to replace out with the stake car. And we just want to, for now, go up to a length of 152. And we are going to say off, replace now. You have to pay 548, that's fine. And where is it heading? Augusta Planks. Wait a minute. Or no, Miramar Goods. Okay. Nice, it's carrying 42 steel and 50 planks. Well, that's going to take some time, so we are going to let that tick. And we have our Downey to Augusta iron ore. And we are carrying some machines and food. Nice. Awesome. Alright, yeah, that one we will be... How is the production here? It has upgraded at least once. It has a production of 46. One thing we might want to do is add additional trains. And over here, 58, it has a limit of 100. It has 41 stored. And there are 7 planks sitting here. Let's turn those on. Yep, we are going to... we want to set this up so that it goes in that direction. We're going to set up a depot right here. There we go. Buy trains. And we are going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 152. We're actually going to clone it. And Augusta Planks. Because right now, the Augusta Planks line, and actually, oh, wait a minute. The Augusta Planks line only goes to here. So we are going to have to Downey Planks as well. So Augusta Planks now has a 4-minute frequency and then has a 10-minute frequency. Alright, Augusta Planks comes in on that platform. Or no, not that one. It goes in that platform. So we are going to set up a depot. We already have one. We're going to buy trains. And we are going to go with State Car. Actually, before we do, Downey Planks, vehicles. How much was it? It was making us some money, so that is something. We're going to replace this out with a GE C40. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to do that. We're going to just off, and you have to pay 4.6 million. That's fine. Buy trains. Buy one of those, and oh, we'll sell that off. 152 meters. Let's clone that. And we are going to assign this to the Downey Planks line, which now has a frequency of 3 minutes. And actually, this line was making us $3.48 million, so it is profitable. We just have to ramp up the frequency, which will allow us to ramp up the production. And we got lots of planks here, so that is something. For the train that we are currently running, one of these, 132 units of capacity. And we have signals. Do we have signals? No, we don't. Oh, bother. this could be a little bit of a problem. So what I'm going to want to do then is we are going to want to set up signals. I'm sure I did, but I guess I didn't. One there. I'll do one there. And save the game. One there. Really? Completely forgot the signals. And since I will be running multiple trains on this section of track, there's at least one more line that's coming up through here. Actually, no, yeah, it's the Ontario Logs line. Of all things. Of all things. Yep. We are going to need the signals. So let that tick. Although with that said, oh, the lag is real. Oh yeah, I bet that. There we go. And right there. I'm very excited to get this series wrapped up, although there's going to be a lot of work. Not just a matter of setting up lines. We really need to crank up the production. And getting all these lines set up. Not something I want to do off screen. I want to do some stuff in the episodes because, well, that's why you're here. What I do not want to do is make this entire series, like any building series, any construction series, a show and tell. Which I think for the first 16 minutes was a show and tell. Yeah, beep to you. And yeah, I had to do a crossover here because I have the Ontario Logs. I couldn't let them transfer over to that station, otherwise the lines would get messed up. And product would not go where it's intended. We are going to check back with the Memphis Forest to see whether we have achieved victory or not. This may be a two-part episode, although I'd rather not. With that said, you do know what I am planning to do for the set of episodes. Oh, let's pause it just because the lag. Oh, the lag. The lag is painful. Well, we have the train still sitting here. This is saying line usage. No, I can't remember when I started this. Although it's been at least... Come on, march. No. Do I have to bother? You know what? We are going to send you back to the depot. Because I do not want a full-length train on this. And now what I want to do is we're going to buy trains. We're going to buy one of those. We're actually going to... Yep. And now we are going to clone. How many do I want to clone? I should have checked the frequency. Let's clone a fourth. Memphis Logs. And what we're going to do is we're going to just let it stop here. So, about that. Memphis Logs has a 6-minute frequency. What I probably should have done. Only gave them like 3 wagons each. I'm hoping the 6-minute frequency will kickstart production. Otherwise, I'm going to have to rethink things because that's a little bit too long of a line. I'm hoping number of trains and the frequency will improve or help to affect this. But if we take a look at the power rating, it is good. 113 on the flat in 55 seconds. Medium slopes is 77 seconds. High slopes is 3 minutes. So yeah, about that. And you are going to get going. Line usage, no. Well, this might be a failure before. Oh wow, we got lots of people looking to travel. Wow, indeed. Got lots of people here at Patterson. And one thing I've wanted to do is reduce the capacity on some of the trains. Although with that said, nope, I'm not reducing capacity on those trains. Although we got like no one here. Only 54. Okay, about that. And another addition, you can probably see them, is I did add a few airports to the map. One here in Miramar. I returned this one back to service. It is, of course, the original airport with the gravel runway. And we will be running Douglas DC-3s on this map. We're going to be bringing these back. And I'm bringing these back specifically because of the speed. 333 is very close to the top speed of, let's say, Cessnas. Although this definitely does not have the capacity of Cessna. It has way more than capacity. But I wanted a little bit of a slower plane just because our slowest plane is like 828 kilometers an hour. Like, really? Kind of useless. And so, yeah, we are going to be running cheaper planes. Cheap is the way to go in this series. Yeah, about that. Let's just check our airlines. Yeah, we're losing $3 million on that line. 780. We're making 782 on that line and 518K on that line. So that's a thing. Yeah, 55 freaking capacity. No capacity. No capacity. No passengers. Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do on these runs that we're running the Airbuses, we're going to be replacing out with the, yeah. Replace now, yes. Replace now. You gain $17.5 million. And replace. Replace now. And we are going to replace now. We don't need massive jumbo jets. On this line, which is Cape Coral to Ventura, across the map, what I might just do for this line is run the Airbuses. Replace now, and we gain $7.37 million. And we have one of these. Considering that I didn't run planes during the heyday of a lot of the earlier planes, yeah, how about that? We are going to hope, hey, 8 passengers. Nice. And that is a Cape Coral to... So yeah, we can definitely start running more planes on this. Douglas DC-3. Cape Coral to SV. And just to make sure, you are going to Cape Coral. Nice. Alright, anyway, at this point in time, what I'm going to do is take a break here. I will probably just connect up. Let's just get rid of those and those because reasons and those. I will be connecting up a lot of the other lines that I had mentioned. I did spend a bit of time explaining connections and all that, so I don't think you really want to see what I had in mind. And of course, this was the major construction I wanted to do. So yeah, about that. Anyway, at this point in time, I'd like to say thank you for joining me for this episode of Transport Fever Sandbox Edition. Thank you for watching. My name is Scott for SP Gaming. And as always, have a good day.